welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Dani Gibson here with Dick Jerardi. We are in the Parx Racing Hall of Fame room. We're on NBC Sports Philadelphia. It is Preakness Saturday. All eyes will be down in Baltimore. We send out Uncle Heavy, the Pennsylvania bred from the Butch Reed barn that's going to be in the big Preakness Stakes. We also have live racing here, so after our show, get in your car, come out for some live racing, family fun. And of course, Dick and I are going to give our picks who we think will take that second jewel of the Triple Crown. But a great show today and lots to talk about.
Yeah, lots to talk about indeed. It's very cool that Uncle Heavy, the Parx-based horse with Butch Reed, is going to go to Baltimore. It's such a great backstory. People that don't know, the horse is named after Butch's older brother, Mark, a Parx Hall of Famer like Butch himself. His nickname after college, when he started in the horse racing industry, was Heavy, partly because he's a big guy, and secondly, he was the heavyweight wrestling champion of the ACC at the University of Maryland back in 1972. So to see Uncle Heavy from Mike Milam and Glenn Bennett in the Preakness from Parx is really cool.
Oh, it's really cool. And his wife Barbara bred the horse.
Exactly. Bred on Mark's farm, Mark and Barbara's farm down in Chester County, and shall we say, on the cheap to Mike Milam, and then Mike has since sold a piece to Glenn Bennett. So there will be much representation from Parx ownership groups down in Baltimore today.
Oh, it's Team Reed all the way. And who better to hear about Uncle Heavy than from his trainer, Butch Reed? We caught up with him on Uncle Heavy.
He's calm and relaxed, as you saw him out here, and he's ready to go. His last training breezes have been fantastic, so looking forward to next weekend.
You did secure Eclipse Award-winning jockey Irad Ortiz. How much confidence does that giving you knowing he'll know what to do when the gates open?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why you go with a guy like that. Taking nothing away from Mikey Sanchez, just did a great job with his horse, but we thought that Irad's got more experience in these kind of races, and he'll know when to step on the gas and when to press the right button. So we have complete confidence in Irad.
You've won 2 Breeders' Cups. Now it's your first Triple Crown race. Is it the same kind of pressure?
Yeah, I guess it's excitement. Yeah, anytime you step up to this kind of level where there's going to be a lot of eyes on you, you certainly want to perform well. But, I feel more about for the horses than anything else because I know how good they are, and I want to see, for their sake, I want to see them perform and do well.
Well, your barn is certainly operating, all systems go. You've had a great weekend. How much does that help having that momentum go into such a big race?
Yeah, that does help. It kind of took a little bit of pressure off early, but we have to produce. You got to produce every day, so we're looking forward to it. And it's been a great run we've been on the last couple of months.
Well, we are certainly all rooting for that Pennsylvania bred, as we did with Smarty Jones when he took on the Preakness. Hopefully we get a similar result, but let's talk about the race. Some big news. It is down to an 8-horse field. Yeah,
Muth had spiked 103 temperature overnight and had to be scratched. He was going to be the favorite. The Arkansas Derby winner, he beat Mystic Dan, the Derby winner, pretty convincingly down in Arkansas. So that changes, A, the race dynamics. He looked like he might have been the lone speed, and B, that takes probably what on paper was the best horse in the race out. But we still have the Derby winner, which is really cool, and Mystic Dan. We got the Louisiana Derby winner in Catching Freedom. We got the Pat Day winner and Seize the Gray. Just Steel has had some good races. Tuscan Gold, I think, is interesting for Chad Brown. He's won this race twice. And Imagination, the other Baffert horse, we'll see how he can do with Frankie Dettori trying to win his first American Classic after all the races he's won worldwide.
Well, it's interesting because how many times do we think Brad Cox's horse will win or Chad Brown, and then it's the other Cox, it's the other Brown. So could that happen with Baffert today? I don't know, but still an interesting race.
It's possible. One of the fascinating things about this race, Danny, if you look at the trainers in the race, obviously Wayne Lucas has a couple, Baffert now down to 1. But there's 4 trainers in this race that have won the Preakness. You ready for this? 17 times. 8 for Baffert, 6 for Lucas, 2 for Chad Brown, and 1 for our man Kenny McPeak with the Philly Swiss Skydiver in 2020.
Well, that's a lot of times being under that beautiful cupola. So hopefully we'll see the Pennsylvania bred get the win. Here is more on the Preakness.
How excited are you to have 2 quality horses for this Preakness?
Well, I like the big arena. All my life, I ran the first one here 44 years ago. And I enjoy the competition. I enjoy the better races, the Breeders' Cups, the Derbies, and so forth. I really thrive on that. So even at my age, I still love the competition, getting involved in it.
What do you like best about Just Steel?
Well, Just Steel's got a really good pedigree and everything. His race in the Kentucky Derby was less than perfect. We got into a speed jam, and there was no way that he could finish and do well there. But that happens in racing, and you got to be careful that you don't penalize a horse for one race like that.
Pretty good Preakness field with the Derby winner and Catching Freedom jumping in over the weekend.
We needed the Derby winner in here. We really did, and if this thing is going to, carry its credentials, if we need the Derby winner in here every year, if we can get him, assuming he's physically good. And he was. I looked at him this morning. I watched him all week. He's very good. I don't want to be training him for Kenny McPeak, but he looks damn good. And I don't think that it'll be easy to outrun him. But especially if the weather changes, he's got a pretty good race in the mud there in Arkansas.
He's only gotten stronger as he's run along. He's only gotten stronger, and he's easy on himself, and he puts his heart out there every time. So he's not really come back with any aches or pains or anything, and just a little beat up from the Derby, though, bouncing around the first turn, turning for home. But today, it's probably 5th or 6th day back, and he's doing really good.
Okay, is that typical for him?
Oh yeah, it's typical for him. That's typical for him. He's such a good horse, man. He's a solid horse.
Well, these Triple Crown races are always thrilling, and of course all eyes will be on the Pennsylvania bred Uncle Heavy. We've had success here in Pennsylvania with PA bred Smarty Jones. What would it mean for Philly to get another one?
No, it'd be very cool. Obviously, we know all the players, so it would be especially cool. But look, I was there 20 years ago when Smarty Jones won the Preakness by the biggest margin in the history of the race. Got 118 buyer figure, which is a number that has not been topped in a Triple Crown race in the 21st century. So yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. We're going to do everything we can. I know President the PTHA Bob Hudd is interested in it. Obviously, I've written letters up there. We need to at least get him on the ballot, get him out of the committee, get him on the ballot, let the 170 voters decide whether he belongs to the Hall of Fame. I can tell you this, I'm one of them. He's in.
Well, he's an inspiration, and I'm looking over at him in the left. We're in our Parx Racing Hall of Fame. So, well, Dick and I are going to give our selections on the Preakness later, as well as Craig Donnelly will, but we do have to go to our first break. But when we come back, Nisi Marie in the Bogey, 90% Maddie up at the Belmont Aqueduct in the Run Happy, and lots of star power here at Parx. All coming up on Let's Go Racing.
Inside that final furlong, Nisi Marie is launching grandstand side.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our national race of the week takes us up to Belmont at the Aqueduct, and we're talking about the Grade 3 Bogey Stakes. This is on the turf for fillies and mares. A mile and 16th, $175,000 they're running for. Odds-on favorite is the number 5 White Beam for Chad Brown.
Yeah, but we're interested in Nisi Marie, right? The $25,000 yearling buy for Mark Reed bought from Mike Milam, and boy, has she been worth the money and then some. It's her seasonal debut.
Yeah, and she wears the same silks as Uncle Heavy. Here's Chris Griffin with the call to Bogey Stakes.
The trailer, Nisi Marie. White Beam goes after the lead. It's White Beam who's now up by a neck, 24 seconds flat for that opening quarter mile, and it was a pressured one as Spirit and Glory is going to come right back to the inside here of White Beam, and these two in a pace duel on the front end. It's still Spirit and Glory now with a head in front, has come back on White Beam, who's going to just try and catch a breather now. They are 7 lengths clear from Quarrel. The big long shot is alone in third, 47-4 the half-mile time. Espray is content to be second to last. Nisi Marie is at the back end of the field, about 10 lengths from front to last, and they move into the far turn together. Spirit and Glory and White Beam, they continue to duke it out. It is Spirit and Glory with the head in front. White Beam is ready to re-engage towards the outside, and here comes White Beam ready to contend for the lead. 1:11.3 for 3/4 of a mile. They reach the top of the lane, and the front two are still well clear of the rest. To the inside, it's Spirit and Glory. To the outside, it's White Beam. White Beam is trying to push on by a very stubborn Spirit and Glory. It's down to these two so far. Inside that final furlong, Nisi Marie is launching grandstand side. White Beam to the outside, Spirit and Glory. Can Nisi Marie get up in time? White Beam, Spirit and Glory, the oncoming strides of Nisi Marie in time!
What a finish with Nisi Marie getting Joel Rosario. We've seen Joel Rosario have a powerful finish on Preakness, winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies for Butch Reed. What a performance on her first debut.
She had absolutely no chance at the top of the stretch. I said, well, you weren't even in the picture. I'm going, where is she? And here she came, got up for the last jump. And Joel Rosario, I've said this for years, Danny, he is the best finisher since Lafitte Pincaille is the greatest finisher in the history of horse racing. And that's the horse that fits him perfectly. We'll see Nisi back. And it's a really cool story because Mike is... I actually wrote about it on Let'sGoRacingParx.com this week. Mike is a longtime friend of Butch, or Mark Reed, and he actually, his dad had horses with Mark years ago, and then Mike decided, I want to buy some horses. He got some claimers, and they weren't really doing any good. He says, why don't you go to the sales? Well, this is one of the first horses they bought at the sales, and then they got Uncle Heavy, so good job by Mike Milam and the group.
And good job by Butch putting her on the turf. And we have to give a credit to Chris Griffin. He picked her up. He said launching on the grandstand side.
That was the only reason I realized she was even in the race because I couldn't see her.
Well, really cool. Congratulations to them. We're going to keep it going on that same day. It was the Grade 3 Run Happy Stakes. 6 furlongs, $175,000 purse. Now, the favorite is the #1 Straight No Chaser. You guys remember him from some of the California stakes. Well, now he's in New York.
Yeah, big buyer figures, 101, 107 in the last two, and he is fast and he's got the rep.
Yeah, and Butch has another one in this race, 90% Maddie.
Yeah, this is LC Racing, Glenn Bennett, who obviously has a piece of the Preakness horse today. Uncle Heavy is a neat horse, closing on 400,000.
And they move quickly early. Here's Straight No Chaser having to work, gets to the lead as a neck in front, but really had to work to get there. And Straight No Chaser at 3-5 is now up by a half length. Durante is well settled now, stalking from second. Joey Freshwater is 3 wide in third. 90% Maddie is tracking in the 4th position. Now gets the nibble, just encouraged to move forward here from 4th. And towards the outside, 24 Mamba is progressing from the back. 22 seconds flat was that opening quarter mile. Straight No Chaser is in hand now. Well settled. Durante is losing some ground. Joey Freshwater is trying to make up ground 3 wide. 90% Maddie is off the rail looking for a seam. 24 Mamba. They're chasing Straight No Chaser. Straight No Chaser 44-3 for that half-mile time. Straight No Chaser trying to put it away. Joey Freshwater in full pursuit. 24 Mamba. 90% Maddie grandstand side. It is Joey Freshwater now takes the lead. Joey Freshwater. Here comes 90% Maddie lunging. Joey Freshwater almost there. 90% Maddie trying. Joey Freshwater holds on and wins the Run Happy.
Good finish by 90% Maddie getting second, but Joey Freshwater does get the win here.
Yeah, look, I think that 90% Maddie's going to win major races this year before it's over.
Yeah, I know Butch Reed was really pleased with the second. He said was, upset he wanted to get the win. He thought he had a lot of horsing. We actually do catch up with trainer Butch Reed on both of his good finishes here with Nisi Marie and 90% Maddie. Nisi Marie, she just had a really exciting come-from-behind win with Joel Rosario.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, Joel just did a fantastic job. I thought he was a little overconfident actually going down the backside, but he knew what he was doing, obviously, so you don't question those kind of guys, and he did a sensational job, and I can't say enough about the horse. The horse really did a job. Her strides the last 50 yards were just something to see, so we're excited about a big summer with her and looking forward to some even longer and more a little higher level race too.
Second place finish with 90% Maddie in the Run Happy Stakes. How thrilled were you on his performance?
I was. I mean, Irad was more worried about it than I was. He came back a little upset. He had to check up a little bit there going by the 3/8 pole and had to hesitate, and he thinks it cost him the race. So we're glad that Irad liked the horse, and we'll get him again. And And 90% Maddie's just improving with every start. I really am impressed with this horse, and I think he's got a big future ahead of him as well.
Thanks, Butch. And we're going to turn our attention to some local racing. We're going to take a look back at Monday's 9th race here at Parx. It was an allowance optional claiming $53,000 purse. 6.5 furlongs is the distance. Mike Moore has a really good pair here, favorite and second choice.
Yeah, Bourbon Music, Twisted Ride. Craig and I both picked Twisted Ride. We thought he was Lone Speed. You got Scaramouche, your Gallant Bob winner. You got the Amazing Baron. Needs another one to get over 900,000. This is like a stakes race masquerading as an allowance race.
It arguably was. It really was a great field, and here's the call of Monday's 9th race.
Scaramouche, Twisted Ride, Bourbon Music under a pretty tight hold. He's in third, Baron's in fourth. Then it's back to Factor It In, Gordian Knot, and in on the rail, One More Scoop. Scaramouche doing all of the heavy lifting as they make their way into the far turn. Twisted Ride's got in the queue. On the inside, he's up to challenge Scaramouche. On the outside, Bourbon Music looms in third. Factor It In, he's in fourth. Baron, then back to Gordian Knot and One More Scoop. 3 across the track as they head through the far turn. About a quarter mile left to go. The half, 45 flat. In on the rail, Twisted Ride, Scaramouche all out in between horses. Bourbon Music on the outside. Baron's under a drive. He swings wide for his bid. Twisted Ride game on the rail. Bourbon Music in between Scaramouche. Baron running a big race down the center of the track. It's Twisted Ride with the lead. Baron rallying down the center of the track. A 16th left to go. Twisted Ride. Baron gaining with every stride. Twisted Ride on the outside. Baron is going to nab him at the wire.
And Baron gets the win, and jockey Abner Adorno said as soon as he turned for home, Baron just took him to the wire, and tough loss for Twisted Ride there.
Yeah, it's funny, these older horses like Baron, they don't have the early speed they used to have, Danny, but they still know how to get to the winner's circle. It was kind of impressive because that's not really what he did, but Twisted Ride was phenomenal in defeat. Mike Moore was not pleased, and I don't blame him that Scaramouche was out there battling with him. He really looked like Lone Speed. He was the best horse in the race, but sometimes the best horse doesn't win. And congratulations to the Baron people. Twisted Ride will be around to fight another day.
Oh, he certainly will. And Baron is the handsomest horse on the backstretch. Everybody just drops their jaw when they look at him. He is so handsome. We're going to go to another break, but so much more to come up. We have our Jockey and Trainer of the Week and Best of the Rest, all coming up on NBC Sports Philadelphia on Let's Go Racing.
When you open the Parx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Parx.
Welcome back, everybody. Dick, it is time to present our Jockey of the Week, sponsored by NovaCare. Here's our Jockey of the Week.
Congratulations to our Jockey of the Week, presented by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Our Jockey of the Week is Francisco Martinez. Francisco had a riding double on Monday and was in the money in 5 of the races through Wednesday, with 1 second and 4 third-place finishes. Congratulations again to Francisco Martinez, our Jockey of the Week, presented by NovaCare.
Let's now turn our attention to our Trainer of the Week, sponsored by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Here's our Trainer of the Week.
The PTHA is proud to partner with a wonderful foundation. Tunnel to Towers presents our Trainer of the Week, and it is Butch Reed. Butch went up to New York and won the Bogey Stakes with Nisi Marie, and a strong second with 90% Maddie in the Run Happy Stakes. Butch also won a nice allowance race at Parx with Baron on Monday. Don't forget to visit T2T.org. Butch Reed, our Tunnel to Towers Trainer of the Week.
It is now time for our Turning for Home family photo of the week. It's about my time. Handsome gelding that was retired here. Him and Tasha, they are the perfect match. She wasn't sure, but once she sat on him for the first time and got that ride, she knew that that was her horse. And they just went to their first show, and they're having a lot of fun together.
And of course they are. That's the whole idea.
Turning for Home is so wonderful. Let's get to best of the rest. We're going to go back up to Belmont. This is the Peter Pan for 3-year-olds going a mile and an eighth, $200,000, grade 3, and the Wine Steward.
Yeah, the Wine Steward is your favorite. It's a really neat 2-year-old. Came back with a pretty good race behind Encino, but he just can't catch Todd Pletcher, an antiquarian who really kind of had a troubled trip in the Louisiana Derby. Todd is back with another one. He'll be in the Belmont along with Fierceness and who knows who else. And Todd will try to win the Belmont for like the 100th time, it feels like.
Yeah, Johnny V and Antiquarian overcoming that start. The Wine Steward always selling for second, but pretty good race.
Only an 88 buyer, so yeah, I wonder if anybody who thought about entering that might have had a little few second thoughts because it was not a hard race to win. But we'll move on.
Well, guess what? Monmouth Park is open, and we're going to go over for the Long Branch Stakes going a mile and 70 yards. 3-year-olds, $102,000 purse. That's an odd number. But we're rooting for Lonesome Boy, and he's trying to set that pace out there.
Right. Lonesome Boy, who ran so well in the Wood Memorial's the 7. Evening News for Mike Pino is the 8. But neither one of them are going to be around for C Streak at 2-1, who just powers away from the field, Danny, to win by 7 lengths at the wire.
Yeah, big ride there with Jairo Rendon, who's back from his farm in Medellin, Colombia. He goes there every winter, and he comes back every summer and gets a lot of wins.
He's ready.
Gets a lot of wins at Monmouth and Parx. Well, let's get to this week's PTHA Trophy race. It's Tuesday's 3rd race, going 7 furlongs, $7,500 claimers, fillies and mares, and here comes Sonadar for 10 Strike Racing.
Yeah, Hidden Cash was the big favorite at 1-2, but just didn't really fire at all, Danny. And Sonadar for our man Marshall Graham and Carlos Guerrero just wins easy by 3 at the wire. Another big win for 10 Strike in the purple colors.
Put Hidden Cash in your virtual stable, though, because he had horse. He couldn't get through anywhere. The jockey was very frustrated after the race, but big win. We talked to winning trainer Juan Carlos Guerrero with Sonadar.
She's a, funny filly, it's just, I really, when she came down from Kentucky, I thought I had a nice filly, but then she ran a couple times and I couldn't get it to run, and I'm like, what I'm doing wrong? And I went back and looked at the replays, and I noticed she wear a different equipment, and I go, wait a minute, let me see if that's the key. So in the morning I put the normal bit, and I pony her, and she was fighting me. So then I put the equipment that I put today, and she actually started pulling on me. I was like, bingo. I said, I think this is it. Of course, you never know, but I think that's what it was, because I did nothing else to her.
Well, she loved the Sherwin Fussy fillies, but you got her to the winner's circle and a win for 10 Strike. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's time for Eye on Racing, and all eyes will be at Baltimore. They have a big undercard as well. Tell us about some of those races.
A lot of Parx horses. Disco Ebo will be in the skip at Irad Ortiz will ride. In the James Murphy, this is on the turf. I don't know if Jamie's going to run on the turf or not. Speedy Ness is in there, maybe comes off the turf. His deposition, thankfully, is okay after his fall in the Wood Memorial. He'll be in the Sir Barton. Danny, the Jim McKay, the 5/8 on the grass. We got all kind of Parx action here. We got Smooth Bee is in there for Butch. We got Boats are Rocking for the Matty family. That's Right for Mike Moore, and Woody, the great PA bred. So look out. That'll be a fun race. And we have the defending champ in that race. In fact, we have the champ from the last 2 years in that race, the Jim McKay.
It is a reboot of the 2023 Turf Monster. Really looking forward to this race.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for us to go to our final break. When we come back, we're going to have winners for you in the Preakness. Me, Dick, and Craig Donnelly are going to say who wins the big race. We'll see you after this break.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll. This is how it goes. This is how you pop. This is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite. This is how you all night. 360 hit me. Now we're going all in. I can feel it calling. The crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
The PA Horse Breeders Association has a remarkable story to tell. North America's most lucrative awards program also produces Grade 1 winners year after year. Of all the great PA breds, none is more well-known, more iconic than Smarty Jones. We salute Smarty on the 20th anniversary of his wins in the first 2 jewels of the 2004 Triple Crown, at the time becoming only the 3rd ever undefeated Preakness champ.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, let's try to make you some money. We're going to start with Parx picks. We are racing today. It's Saturday.
Yep.
We're talking about race 9. This is the Preakness Day starter race, and I'll start. I got to go with number 10, BB Bad.
Okay.
This is the barn horse for us,
Yes.
and I know he's doing really good. I like that Dexter wanted to stay on him. Michael always does well with him, but he'll be down at Pimlico.
Yep.
But he's in good form right now, and a little extra distance will be good for him.
Yeah, I'll go with Freedom Road, coming up from Tampa Bay. Big numbers, low 80 buyer last time. Trained by Ricky Sullivan. I used to play softball in the Preakness infield with Ricky years ago when I was still in Baltimore, so I'll root for Ricky, see if he can win the race.
Awesome. It's going to be a good race. Well, let's talk about the real Preakness. Obviously, race 13 on Saturday's card. Stunning field of 8. Look, I cannot root against Uncle Heavy coming from post 2 with Irad Ortiz. I'm wishing for the best, and I'm envisioning it for them.
You're picking him closing down the center of the track.
I am.
Uncle Heavy come running. Look, for the record, I was going to pick Muth. I thought he was an absolute cinch. I thought he was going to control the race. His works were awesome.
Same.
Well, there's only one horse in this race with 2 triple-digit buyers. In fact, there's only one horse in this race with a triple-digit buyer at all. That's Mystic Dan, the Derby winner. I think he may actually go to the lead now, but there's not much speed in the race, or be right up there. I'll go Kenny McPeak, see if he can't win 2 legs of the Triple Crown with Mystic Dan.
I think that's a good pick, but I like mine better. Well, let's see what Craig has to say. Craig Donnelly, who do you like?
Big day, Preakness Stakes racing here at Parx, racing down at Pimlico. You got a race for us at Parx today? What do you got?
I hope so, because after Twisted Ride got nipped last week, we have to bounce back. In the 3rd race, I like number 5, Capo. Beautifully managed horse, claimed in Kentucky for 20, comes up here, wins a stake with Kendrick Carmouche at huge odds, which you don't see very often. Now, what I like is last time out he went back to sprinting. He actually won this same condition race. You say, well, how's he eligible to be in it? Last time he ran without the tag. To stay eligible, he's in with the tag, 40,000 this time. So I look for a similar effort, which would be good enough to get the job done.
I like it. And down at the Preakness, we lost Muth, who was probably going to be my pick. I don't know where you were on that. Now we're down to 8 horses, including Uncle Heavy, the local horse. What do you say?
Well, I'd like Uncle Heavy to win, but it's hard for me to do. I'm going to take a shot here, even though I realize this is a race with very little speed. I think Imagination has the best speed, but I'm going to pick Catching Freedom. I know he has to come from behind. I don't think he'll be as far back. He was 15th in the opening quarter in the Derby. I think he'll be close to lead. I think Flavian Pratt is absolutely one of the best riders in the country. I looked at his race. He never got stopped cold, but he had to maneuver through traffic, got beat less than 2 lengths in the Derby. I think he'll keep improving, and hopefully there'll be enough pace in front of him he can run him down.
So Catching Freedom for Craig and the Preakness.
All right, well, thanks, Craig, for your pick, and good luck to Uncle Heavy. And make sure you come out. We are racing live here today. It's going to be a great day at Parx, family fun, and of course, watch the Preakness with us on the big screen. We look forward to it. What a great show it was. Dick and I will see you next week on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Tama's got the lead now. It's Tama in the center of the racetrack, but Tama is drawing away, and Tama with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parx Pennsylvania Derby.